Urban Notes Podcast, where real people tell real stories through urban lifestyles and cultures.
Peace. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Urban Notes Podcast. Today we will talk about a little bit about mental health and self-love. Today we have a special guest coming on to give us a little wisdom of her experiences through mental health and self-care. Um, Danica, how you doing?
I'm good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, so how are you? And where you from?
I'm good, and I'm from Connecticut.
Okay. We're gonna have a little bit of question I'm gonna ask you today. So what was some of the questions I want to ask is how can an individual prioritize self-love as part of their mental health journey?
Individuals can prioritize self love by doing what they like, such as, hobbies, self care days, and other activities like working out.
Okay. Like working out, definitely. So you think working out is important? It's one of the biggest thing that people need to really tap into to help their mental health be good.
Yes, I feel like working out helps with the mind and the body also.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. When you work out, it really uh give you that energy and drive to do things more because you got like a different motor or call it another drive to yourself. Like make you more, be aware, be more open to see things clear, think thorough. So I feel like mental health is very important, especially in this conversation today. That's why I asked the question: what we prioritize self love. Um, so what are some effective self care practices for improving mental health and promoting self love? Like, what are some effective self care for you?
Well, for me, I just like, you know, listening to music, writing, watching TV shows.
Okay. So, what kind of TV shows do you like to watch?
I like Love and Hip Hop, um, shows on BET, VH1.
Okay. How does those help you out with your mental health?
It just like doesn't have me in my feelings as if I wasn't doing nothing. I'll just be sitting here thinking about stuff.
Mm. Okay. I feel that definitely. Everybody got their own different coping mechanism that they're doing in their lifetime,
Yeah.
and a lot of times we fail to realize that it's easier to just like block out the world than it's done because most of us got like lives, you know what I'm saying? Some of us are moms, dads, business owners, all different plethora of businesses and things that we have in our everyday
Yeah.
life that make us, try to figure out about everything. And definitely like
Yeah,
even for me,
spending time with my son helps me too.
help us spend it out. Talk a little about the journey of being motherhood, like understanding like that how you juggle mental health and also self care and also being a mother to your son. How's that really helps you out?
Well, being a mother, I feel like I don't have time to be down because I got to be up for him. Like, I got to make sure I'm at my best for him. So, he helps me get through some of the times when I do struggle with the mental health part.
Mm, most definitely. So like since you've been through it and you're going through it and you're still learning. So what are some signs that you say like in your perspective that you have encountered like deterioration of like self love and low self esteem and self worth? Like what were some of the signs for you that helped you like tackle like dang I'm going through this?
When I noticed like some days I didn't want to get out of bed or I didn't want to do anything
Mm,
and just
definitely.
feeling um like you could feel when your body is changing with the different emotions and stuff.
Right. Right. Most definitely. I agree. So, yeah, so what are some like healthy boundaries then, since you've been through what I said, what are some healthy boundaries to protect the mental health of yourself and the self-care? Like what are some of your boundaries?
Setting healthy boundaries include not dealing with people who are always negative, people who never want to see you win. You got to surround yourself with good people, people that sight in good spirits, not always down. They got to
Mm,
be able to understand what you're going through and not judge you.
right. And how is the so you're saying you have to pay people who are in a good ecosystem with you, who could teach, who help you, who could transform you, right? And that's important, especially when it comes to mental health. Having a good support system is important. And a
Yeah.
lot of us don't even have good support systems. Some of us have broken support system. Some of us have support system, but it's there, but not really there, but they're there. Some of us got good support system to the point that we're like, wow, like I see a change in myself in a positive mindset. A lot of times we don't see that. And definitely that's good to know, you know what I'm saying? And for most people who are out here, like definitely take these shows, man. Like she is telling you a piece of her story, a piece of her journey, what she's been through in her lifetime. Um and
And
yes,
when you're setting healthy boundaries, you got to look at how you grew up versus how you want your kids to grow up. So if you grew up in a bad like household where you felt like the support wasn't always there, you have to change that like for your kids. Be there for
right,
them, listen to them, give them what you always wanted when you was growing up.
right, right.
Even if that
And
means keeping them away from what was unhealthy for you growing up.
right. And like you mentioned earlier, you have a son, right? And so, what are some other things that you have taught? What are some learned lesson that you are now passing down to your son that you learned that you think will be useful for people to know?
I'm just working on with him being able to just listen to him when he has a problem and not reacting so fast to certain things, just letting him have a voice, be himself.
Mm, definitely, and that's important, right? That's very important to have a
Yeah.
healthy relationship with your child.
Yeah.
It takes them a longer way, keep them on the right path, do the right decisions, making the right choices that benefit them, but not only benefit you. You know what I'm saying? And that's important especially in everywhere we go. And people fail to realize that when you have the right support system, it's very, very, very crucial to keep the system eco-fill system, which means like really have a system that helps everybody out. You ever each help each other out with something, some part of transformer reactions. And so with that being said, so what are some ways for individual can incorporate mindfulness and self-compassion then? Since you say you have compassion with your son, you're building him with this knowledge and this wisdom from you. So what are other things that is incorporate into your mindfulness and compassion for your son to make your mental health be where it's at now?
Making sure that he's taken care of, just making sure that he knows that I'm always here for him. Like I said, let him have that voice to speak when something's bothering him instead of him feeling like he can't come and talk to me, because that creates problems too when when you feel like you can't come and speak to somebody that's close to you because of what they might say or what they might do.
Right, right. I agree. I agree. And that's important, uh when you have a relationship with certain people and when you feel like you can't come to that person, it it create like unhealthy boundaries
It does.
and create a toxic workplace or a toxic environment, a toxic ego, um, and just create everything toxic. And a lot of times we fail to realize that, if we have a little bit more compassion, a little bit more self-care, a little bit more active listening. Like not listening just to say, "Oh, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you." Cool, 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 cool. No, but I hear you, and definitely I will show up better. I will be better. I will do better. Um, and that's something I had to learn. I'm still learning. How to be more like I will be better at certain things. I feel like sometimes I have lack of compassion for certain people, and because I'm so into self love, but yet I'm self sabotaging myself with self hate. Um, and that's important to have like relationship with your child, have a relationship with yourself, because those are the most important things to have. So what else? Like with that being said, right? So, what are some other access resources, right, or support to improve your mental health? And what particularly the experiences of financially or logical barriers? Like, what are some things that hinder your mental health from being great, but what are some good things that makes it be better?
Not being financially stable as to where I'm able to like pay rent, my bills and stuff, and still have something left over for me to do. That kind of hinders my mental a little bit, because if I can't do for myself, then I can't really do for my kid.
Right, right, right. I feel that. I feel that 100%, and that's the most important. A lot of times we fail to realize that the biggest. What I learned is the biggest drive of parents is their child. And the biggest ecosystem for a child is their parents. Because when a child can see the parents do as much for them as they can do for them, he can do for their parents, it creates a healthy boundaries where they can both come to each other and talk and engage in a relationship that is transformational. And I believe that a lot of times too, we live in a society where it's so much of a transactional relationships now these days, where a lot of people buy gifts for their child. Oh well, you want this? I'll give you this just because I want you to be in the congressional with me. Oh, I'm gonna do that. But the way you explain, the way you show up, and the way you engage with your son is showing there's a lot of compassion in your story, right? There's a little bit here, but a lot of people don't know there's a little bit here, but I know a lot about you. And just to show that the charismatic and the heart that you have, like to really help invest in a young person to really navigate a society that for a fact can, be good or bad. Just depends on the support of the ecosystem they got.
Yes.
Yeah. So definitely. So where can my people find you, Danica? Where can they find you anywhere in this planet? Where can they find you?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram. That's about it.
Most definitely, most definitely. And definitely, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Danica, for coming through. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for subscribing to the Urban Notes podcast. I'm your host, Ron. Thank you, and peace and
Thank you.
love. Peace.
Urban Notes Podcast, where real people tell real stories through urban lifestyles and cultures.